if you have to choose 5 coins for 2020 for huge gains, what coins will those be? Very good question. Very good question. All right, so if I had to choose 5 coins for 2020, because obviously that was the title of the live stream as well, right? Best cryptocurrencies for 2020. I would say Ethereum has to be in there. And Ethereum, if you have to pick a large coin, like a blue chip crypto, Ethereum has to be in there. With Ethereum 2.0 coming, with decentralized finance coming, I mean, all these narratives, just think about this. For alt season to occur, Ethereum has to do well. There is no alt season if Ethereum does not perform well. I mean, because most of the cryptocurrencies out there are issued on Ethereum's blockchain. So Ethereum has to fundamentally do well. So a rising tide lifts all boats is really the philosophy of Ethereum. So Ethereum would have to be in that top 5. Now, we are bullish long-term on Bitcoin. So I would say Bitcoin is in there merely as a hedge to alts. But that's really the only reason I would have Bitcoin in there. Merely as a hedge to alts, because you can't have an entire portfolio purely filled with nothing but altcoins. If you're looking for a very long-term perspective. So we're talking 1 year and out. So I would say, okay, Ethereum just for alt season and DeFi and all that. As a hedge to altcoins, Bitcoin would have to be in that portfolio. That leaves me with 3 other cryptocurrencies to add in that portfolio. Now, we can go based on the Token Metrics ratings. So, pulling this up here. Right now, I think you would have to put Binance in there. I mean, Binance has performed really, really well. And Binance long term, I don't see them going away. Now, if I had to add another cryptocurrency in there, I would, because this is kind of a combination, a mix of short term and long term, or rather, this is kind of more looking at for the next month or so. But if we're looking out for the entire year, I think if we look at which ones have good technology, I mean, Blockstack is in there. I would say Blockstack or Hedera Hashgraph. I know lots of investors are hurt on Hashgraph, but you guys saw what happened with Google partnership. But if we're trying to restrict this based on 5, I think Blockstack would definitely be in there. I would add Maker DAO, Maker and DAI. I mean, especially with DeFi. So I would add Maker in there. So that gives us, to recap, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Binance, Maker, and Blockstack. I think those would be 5. If I had to add an extra one in there that's not currently trading anywhere, meaning that they've not launched yet, I mean, Helium, obviously, because I've been mining that for a while. I think Helium is one to keep an eye on. I think they could do well, but they have issues marketing it. Anybody who's in the Helium community, tell them, hey, we want to do an interview, we want to do an AMA. It seems maybe because they're an American company and they're dealing with SEC, maybe, who knows? I don't know. I don't know if they're doing a Reg A Plus or what have you, but obviously it's trickier when being an American company. So with that being said, though, those are my top 5. If you said, Ian, not financial advice, what are your top 5 cryptocurrencies right now? Recap. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Binance, Maker, and what was the other one? Blockstack. And let's toss in Helium there as the 6th one. So I hope that answers your question, but very good question. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments down below. And also let me know what your top 5 cryptocurrencies are for 2020. For me, these are my top 5. They're just based on being asked right now on the fly. Obviously, they could change 3 months from now or after the Bitcoin halving, But right now, I think fundamentally, looking at the fundamentals, looking at technical analysis, and looking at the potential for growth, I have left out Matic Network right now just based on, because it's part of the Ethereum ecosystem. So whatever growth happens with Matic, part of that growth will happen in the Ethereum ecosystem as well. While Blockstack is kind of not really in the Ethereum ecosystem. So it's really a nice hedge almost, and also a nice way to diversify out of that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below.